Why choose the SLR? How to use it properly? What's changed in Update 1.7 that's made it such a dominant force? And why is the player base so slow on catching up with it? Let's talk about that and a whole lot more as we go down the rabbit hole with the top dog DMR for the World Drops, the SLR. Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Now, it's a funny thing. Update 1.7 was a real stab at turning the 5.56 meta off and pushing people towards DMRs and away from the spray and pray. The DP28 got nerfed and the DMRs across the board, designated marksman rifles, got buffed. Obviously, I'm not going to go too deep into the results of that in the review because I am doing a video on that right now, an overall review of the SLR and the DMRs and their place in the world. But I will tell you that the SLR has started to shine for me, and I'm comfortably picking up and running it as my primary sniper rifle. There's a couple of reasons behind this, and I will break down the numbers in just a second. It's actually, for me, been an eye-opener at just how effective it is to have a high bullet speed DMR that also has big damage. I'm looking at you, Mini 14, which is the ultimate high bullet speed DMR, but has absolutely bug all damage. So you end up hitting people with the Mini 4 and 5 times when they're in level 3 gear, and they still escape over the top of a ridge or behind hard cover. Whereas the SLR, if you double headshot with an SLR, they get knocked. It doesn't matter if they've got level 3 gear on or what. Whereas if you double headshot with a Mini 14, that doesn't knock them. And that's a big indicator as to why the SLR is so good. It's also an indicator that I like guns that can actually do the job in as fewer hits as possible. Because as the player base has got better and better, players have got very, very good at dodging and weaving and being hard to hit. The SLR has a 58.9 base damage round. That's a lot. 57.9 base damage round. The only gun with more as a DMR is the Mark 14, this beast here. And in fact, it's very close for me now which is the better sniper rifle. The extra bullet damage you have in headshots from the Mark 14 is a lot. Is significant. It does 63 base damage into a level 3 helmet versus a 59.94 of the SLR. And that bigger damage is good, but the SLR's bullet speed is electric now. 937 meters a second versus the 857 of the Mark 14. Now, that's 80 meters, which is about 10% more bullet speed. That's a lot, and it's what the SLR went from. The SLR was formerly a Mark 14 with lower damage in terms of sniping. Well, now it's a slightly less bullet speed Mini 14 with big ass damage poked out the end of it. Now, obviously the Mark 14 is better because the Mark 14 can then go to full auto and do this, which is a joke. You know, we won't go into that. Let's look at the next clip, which is going to showcase exactly how awesome having high bullet speed is. High bullet speed means no lead time, right? Watch how close I have to take these shots. That's so easy now. And the reason it's easy isn't just the high bullet speed. The SLR's recoil got nerfed. In other words, it's got less recoil. Well, it's got a little less recoil, but mostly it's got much better recoil recovery. And recoil recovery is super important. When you fire, the gun raises up in vertical recoil, and when it comes back down naturally towards the middle of the reticle, that's the recoil recovery, okay? Well, the SLR's recoil recovery is much improved to the point where it's now noticeable that you can fire the gun faster. The SLR formerly had such high recoil and such bad recoil recovery that when you fired it quickly, you lost track of the target. Couple that with the fact that you had to lead the target by further and you were just juggling more balls. That's no longer the case. And it's been incredibly important for me in running this weapon. And I really don't run DMRs very often unless it's a Mark 14. And I understand that a lot of people who are incredibly gifted at the game love the Mini because they will tap people out very, very quickly. I'm talking about guys like Fates and that. And the only time I like the Mini is with a 4X, when I can use that 5.56 cheat with the bullet points, the aim points on the Mini and really spam it hard. If there's anything over a 6 or an 8, I want a 7.62 DMR. Why would you use it? Well, there's a couple of things that the SLR has going for it. One is it's fantastic on a Switch. By that I mean, if you're in a tough spot where you are fighting another squad and you have to switch weapons, you can use the SLR as a secondary kind of AR. Now, it's not as good. Obviously, it's not as good, but it's still something you can use. And that's important. And this is me running a stupid loadout, trying to get you footage of me using the SLR as a primary. I'm running SLR AWM. Probably not my best moment. And this is an SLR versus an MG3. And yeah, you're not going to win that one either. It's not the primary. It's the switch weapon, okay? This is a good switch weapon, rather than having a bolt-action rifle. The other reason you should use an SLR is if someone else in your squad is running a bolty, the SLR is brilliant for that. Absolutely brilliant. Because if someone hits someone with a M24, a Kar 98, or an AWM, the SLR is the perfect weapon to clean them up, okay? At 200 meters with an 8X, you can run an SLR and be really, really effective. I'm going to show you a couple of little snippets here of me using the SLR late game, and it hurts. It really, really hurts. Those guys are going to get screwed into the middle of the field here. And you can see, even on a really fast-moving vehicle, we land one shot and we get a lot of hits on the car. And we hit a really quick headshot again, just here. Another tink. And then we make a rotation. You should do yourself a favor. If you like running secondary weapons that are sprays, maybe consider trying a DMR for once if you get an 8X. And it might just change your mind on the weapons that you want to be using in game. I honestly think that the SKS is good, but it's not as good as the SLR. And the SLR now doesn't need all the bells and whistles the SKS does, which is like a foregrip and a whole bunch of 7.62 love because it has slightly less damage. The SLR's recoil now is fine. You want to have a cheek pad with it and a compensator for sniper. I say compensator for sniper because compensator for sniper does more for your recoil than compensator for AR. This is something I don't think I could have done pre 1.7. I'm going to fire 3 quick shots. First is a rangefinder, and the second 2 are very, very clean shots on the target coming in. Here we go, 1, 2. And we knocked him with body shots there because it's such a big, hard-hitting weapon. This is the SLR in a nutshell now. Things are looking up for DMRs. Why not try them? You might just be surprised. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Please remember to like the videos and subscribe. I would appreciate it. And just overall, have a good holiday season and stay safe out there on the battlefield. Until next time, bye for now.